Hello, everyone. It's me, Andrew. I'm here in my home in lovely Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Hopefully, y'all are doing well today. I'm a little bit wore out, to be honest, but I'm doing well. If you're watching, please say hello and maybe say where you're tuning in from. It's always nice to see where folks are watching. I see we've got a couple folks over on Instagram. NHGal56 join. Nancy. Hey, Nancy. Dandy Randy is watching. Hopefully, all are doing well. Um, Over here, we've got Julie. Hey, Julie. Yeah, so I've had a busy week so far, more busy than usual. I was very fortunate and I won a uh, spot in the winter residency at the Center for Metal Arts in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. When the pandemic hit, I started taking blacksmithing classes. It's something that I always wanted to do and didn't think it was possible. But yeah, I started taking blacksmithing classes, and we're very fortunate to have the Center for Metal Arts really close by. Um, and it's actually in the same town that our store is in. They're on different sides of the town, but pretty close. And William's grandpa actually used to work in the steel mill, not in the one that they're in right now, but they just down the piece a bit. So I thought it was pretty cool that there was that kind of full circle connection. Um, yeah, so I've been uh, doing stuff, y'all. So I won the spot in the winter residency at the Center for Metal Arts. And what I proposed to do was we had a bunch of stakes that somebody had given us, and we also had some tools that I had bought, but they were reproductions, and I didn't know that they were reproductions until I actually got them. And at that time, I really didn't know what I was looking at. Um, Anyways, metal steaks, it's not like a cow steak or something that you pound into the ground. It's actually a form that you use to shape metal. So there's all different shapes and sizes, and depending on the shape and the size, determines what your metal piece will look like. So, and that just boils everything down into like, real simple. But um, if you're interested in learning more about that, there's a lot of different really wonderful resources out there about forming metal. And so if you're going to turn it into like taking a flat sheet and making it into a vessel um, or a three-dimensional object, usually that's called raising. Sometimes there's a thing called sinking, which is a little bit different but similar. And then there's all different kinds. So if you're interested in that, I would recommend checking out Cynthia Ead's book with Betty Helen Longy, Creative Metal Forming. Also, Fold Forming by Charles Luton Brain, and Metal Smithing by Robert Mullins. Maybe, I think, I don't know. But that one's an older book, but the other ones, they're still in print. And anyway, so we got those, and some of them were real rusty. And if you can't really use them if they're rusty, because whatever is on the surface of the metal will do what's called telegraphing, and it will go on to the surface of your metal. So if you have a texture, like a really cool texture, that's cool. But if you don't want that texture and you just want it to be smooth, then if there's rust or pitting or anything like that, then that's not super awesome. So I wanted to restore these tools that we had. I also had some other things that were kind of rusty and crusty that I wanted to see. And I've been talking about different ways of kind of talking about how to restore things And if you're on the Patreon, you got a little teaser taste of that where I talked about certain products that I use to help remove rust from tools because the rust actually will eat up your tools and mess them up. NH Gal says, "Hi, Andrew, New Hampshire here." Well, howdy. Hopefully, you all are joining in and having fun. I see a couple more folks have tuned in. Michelle's watching. Hey, Michelle. Susan or Susie, our neighbor's watching. Hey, Susie. Marianne's watching. Hey, Marianne. And yeah, so yeah, tonight usually we don't have a ton of folks watching on Wednesday nights. Um, Mason says, happy New Year. Well, happy New Year back to you. Double rainbows bless both of you. Awesome, guys. Rocket Red countdown. Awesome. So, yeah. So, it's the year of the wood snake, and I thought we could do a little project, a really quick one with polymer clay, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll try. So I have been. I also wanted to make some chasing and repoussé tools. Um, and if you go and you buy them already made, that's a really wonderful thing. And there's a lot of different artist run companies that do it. And they make beautiful products. And I would happily support them. However, um, they're kind of spendy. So I thought that if we were going to have any kind of chasing and repoussé classes or have that on offer at Star Cottage Studio, I didn't necessarily want people to use my personal tools because those kind of things have a tendency to walk away because they're small and people get forgetful. And I've seen it where a studio will have start out with a full set, and then by the end of the semester, there's there's a few less. So I didn't want that to happen. So I decided to make my own. And really, it is something that you need practice with. And the more I do it, the more I'm getting the hang of it. But basically, I'm taking rods of tool steel and cutting them and grinding them down. And then eventually, I'm going to harden and temper them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that while I'm at CMA. I am able to do that at Star Cottage Studio. So I'll be doing that as well. So I worked on getting the stakes and tools cleaned up. I worked on derusting them and grinding them. Today I did a lot of polishing, and it's not my love language. I'll be honest with you. It's something that um, I like to make. Like, I don't know. I have this thing where I like to just be more expressive, and this is not really an expressive kind of thing. It's kind of a step-by-step process, and you have to do it in a certain way, or you can gouge up the metal. And so there's a lot of work that goes into restoring these stakes. So I'm going to work really hard on finishing them up. I'm going to get at least a few done. I've already successfully gotten some done, but there's still a lot more work to do. So we're going to keep trying, or I'm going to keep trying. It's only Wednesday. Technically, the residency goes from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the night, but boy, I get cooked after a while. Yesterday, I spent, I think, 4 or 5 hours standing up, grinding tools, and polishing, and I was fit to bust. Now, the other thing is I accidentally fell on the ice and hurt myself a little bit. It's not too bad, but yeah, that was not my favorite. One of the things that was kind of a bummer about that is when I fell the first time, because I fell again this morning, and I had to soak in the hot shower. And you'd think I would know because it happens in the same spot in front of our garage. And William, he got some ice melter and kind of try to do that, but there's still a pretty thick coat of ice. So, but anyway, so I fell on my wrist and hand kind of, and that means that kind of there I lost a little bit of sensation in my fingertips, which is not ideal. Um, so that's not my favorite. And my joints are stiff. So I am definitely feeling it because I'm not used to, for one, falling. And then also, and it's not, I didn't fall too bad, but it was not the best, let me tell you. And then my neighbors probably heard me cussing. Um, so there's that. I hope that I didn't rip away any illusions that I'm the nice, quiet one when I started cussing because I started, stream of conscious. And one of our neighbors is, I think, a pastor. I don't know if he's a preacher. He works somehow in a church where he gives sermons, and heard some things, and so I don't know if he heard them, but I know his dog heard them. So anyways, there's that. So that's fun. Michelle says, "Is the feeling coming back?" Yeah, the first time I fell, that's come back, but it feels kind of stiff. You know how it's like if you eat too much salt, sometimes your fingers swell up a little bit, and it kind of feels like that. Now today I fell in a different way, and I had a soak in the hot shower, and I did that in the morning, and then I did that when I came home. So, and I did not do the full day today, because if I did that, I'd have fell down weeping gently. So anyways, let's see. I see a couple more folks have tuned in. Amanda's watching. Hey, Amanda. And Mason's watching. Hey, Mason. Marion says, sounds like a lot of work will be worth it in the long run. Yeah, so the steaks, they don't, um, I don't, the ones that I have, they don't make anymore. And so they're harder and harder to find. There's a couple of folks who have been trying to make them again. And there's a couple that you can buy, but generally speaking, you have to make your own. And I'm not there yet. I made some Japanese style steaks, but they're a little bit different. And it says walk like a penguin on ice. Yes, so I got where how you call overconfident. And so I was gonna step over the ice puddle. And normally I just walk like this. But then I was like, oh, I'm gonna step over this ice puddle. That's the first mistake. The second one is I had my phone, or no, the first one I had my phone in my hand, and some books, some bag, and all this other stuff. And I didn't see where I was going, and that's where I fell on my wrist, hand wrist area. Dominion's watching, says, I'm sorry you got hurt. Hope you feel better soon. It could be worse. I don't feel terrible. I say that now, but I also took some ibuprofen and have Salonpas basically holding me together. So there's that. And I'm like, am I sore because I've been standing on concrete all day? Or am I sore because I fell? Or am I sore because of this? Or am I sore because I just wake up sore now? Um, and then sometimes when it's cold, I also am sore. So there you go. Probably more than you wanted to know about my soreness. Um, Dominion says, I feel that from eating too much salt right now, weeping gently. Well, that's how it kind of feels. I don't think it's from, it just feels like um, it's not 100%. Let me just say that. But it could be worse. Michelle says, I get it when my RA flares. Oh no. Well, hopefully it hasn't done that. And Michelle also says, "I hope you feel better soon. Thank you." All right. So, anyway, that happened. What else happened? Oh, I got some presents in the mail. I'll flip the camera around and you can take a look and see what we got. Amanda says, I tense my neck and shoulders when it's cold. Yeah, I also think that I don't like to be cold, and in the center for Mellar, it's pretty warm actually compared because they have some of the people have the forges going, so it makes it warmer. However, they have the exhaust too, so it pulls all that out of the room, which is really good because otherwise we'd all have super black boogers. um, but so it makes it chilly in there. So I layer up and bundle up, and I it just makes you hold your body differently. And my snowshoes I don't wear that often, so they tend to be a little pinchy. So I am like just like that kid in that movie, the Christmas Story, where he's bundled up so much that he can barely put his arms on. He can't put his arms out to the side. He's like a little starfish. That's how I feel when I leave the house in the morning. And so I walk out and it's, yeah. So, anyways, that's life. Um, Susie says, I fell last night in the alley behind my house taking out garbage. I'm good, bruise on my leg. My body has taken a beating over the. Oh no, I'm sorry that happened to you too. I don't know why it's so slippy. That's PA talk for you. Slippy this year. Like I don't I can't remember the last time I fell from the ice and snow in recent years. So I think it was because it was really cold and we got a ton of accumulation, then it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold. And there's just like ice everywhere. And that's not my favorite. So anyway, Susie, I hope you feel better. If you need anything, let us know. I'll send William out to do it. Um, and yeah. Dominion says you could have broken a bone or something looking on the bright side. By the way, I love the things I received from you guys. Oh, good. Yeah, I try to be more careful, especially like I don't like we have a couple of friends that they belong to the whatever you call that place where the skiing is. I would say skiing lodge, but I don't think that's the right word. The but they go skiing and they invited us. And I was like, no, 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 no possibility of me falling. And yeah, so I usually am pretty careful because I don't want to damage my money makers. Um, and so, anyways, that's there you go. And I'm glad you like the goodies you got. That's always nice when people are happy with the things they got. Amanda says, I fell on ice years ago and my elbow still hurts sometimes. I believe it. Luckily, I didn't fall. I didn't hurt my. I was so padded up. So that's the one good thing is I was so bundled up with clothes that it absorbs some of the shock. Um, but anyways, Dominion says, been more severe winter across the country, I believe. So says, I'm good, thank you. Well, let us know, and we'll, can send William out and do fetch things for us. Charlie's watching. She says, Happy Lunar New Year. Yeah, Happy Lunar New Year to everyone. Um, if I had planned a little bit better, I could have had like a whole theme, but I don't have this whole theme, but I do have a project. So Michelle says, I need to still share what I got in my last AG package. It showed up during the fire, so it wasn't the right time. Yeah, it's always nice to see when people get stuff. And if you're in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenge group, I do like to see because I don't actually know all the time what people get because I don't do any of the packing or shipping. So William knows what everybody gets, but I don't always know. So I get just as entertained as everybody else when people are like, "This is what I got," and so that's always nice to see that. Susie White's watching. Hi, Susie. Um, and yeah, so I've got something to show y'all. So one of the hashtag AGB fam sent us a little something in the mail, a little friendship gift, and I'm gonna show you what that is. Camera back ultra wide. All right. Oh, it did the mirroring. What good is the mirroring? That's like the most useless thing. I guess it's like if you want to look at like how you look at yourself in the mirror, then maybe, but I don't think I want that. I want to see what I see, right? Do you see what I see? That's what I want. All right. So Suzanne is watching. She said, "This is a welcome surprise. Hello, everyone." Oh, good. And Cheryl's watching. She says, "Hi, Andrew. Our weather is so dull. We need snow. 50 smart. You need snow? You can have it. I don't want no snow. I'm done of the snow. You must have missed the part where I talk about how I busted my behind um, on the ice and snow. All right. Charlie made this for me. So she's talking about doing a watercolor, and here's the piece that she made. That kind of looks like Gertie. Doesn't that look like Gertie riding the rainbow raven? Suzanne says, "Is your hand better?" It's more better, but it's still a little bit stiff. The other thing is I don't like to mess up my hands. And let me tell you, this I accidentally burnt myself from holding the tool. You can tell exactly where I hold the tool because it's like this. Zzz, 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 for hours and hours. That's basically what I did been doing the last 3 days. Um, and yeah. So Charlie made this. If you don't know who Charlie is, she's not cursed art on Instagram. And she sent that to me. And then this one is for William. What do y'all think of that? Do y'all recognize it? That's his eyeball holes. And then Gilbert and Barnaby. And that's super sweet. Thank you, Charlie. You did a good job. So we got that in the mail. And I'm going to put that one up. I'm going to put my one up. Dominion says, "Aw." Michelle says, "That's so cool." Marianne says, "Love it." And Marianne says, "Also love this one." And Amanda says, "Those are so nice." Yeah, she did a good job. All right. So, y'all want to do a project? This is the Lunar New Year project we're going to do. Hopefully I brought everything. All right. So I try to prep because sometimes I don't do that, and then we have a interesting time. So, anyways, I rolled out some polymer clay. You can do this at home. You don't necessarily need a pasta machine, but let me tell you, your life will change. I mean, it's a beautiful artwork, both pieces. Man, it says Charlie does interesting work. Yeah, good job, Charlie. So this is gonna be our Happy Lunar New Year project. All right, so we're gonna need polymer clay. You don't necessarily need a pasta machine, but a pasta machine is gonna make your life so much easier. Let me just repeat that. Pasta machine is gonna make your life easier. So if you have that, then use it. If you don't have that, you can do it by hand. But and actually, you get more control by doing it by hand. However, let me just say that when you just run it through the machine, it's a lot easier. So what I did is I have two different colors. Now, don't pick colors this too close. If it's like blue and then light blue, then you're gonna have it's not gonna be dramatic. So you want colors that are gonna be a little bit more saturated and more contrasty. So like a dark and a light, or if you want to, I wouldn't recommend doing contrasting colors because when contrasting colors mix, it makes a brown color usually. So maybe you don't want that, but it just depends. But generally, like on a value scale, you'll want like um, a very light, almost white blue, and then like a dark blue. Or if you're going to do that, pick a different color and it's on the darker. So that's the tone. So you want one light and one dark. And then, so what I did is I mixed up this polymer clay. It's kind of this pinky flesh color. I guess it depends whose flesh, not my flesh. Maybe like my inner arm flesh. And then this sparkly kind of metallic tealy blue. Now with my clay, if you've taken any of my polymer clay classes, I bust out a recipe on what kinds of things to mix in. At this point, I really couldn't tell you because I mix so many different colors up and so many different kinds of clay and then it's like the mother. Then it's like a Scooby that makes the kombucha. There's like a little bit left over from the last generation. And so there's all like I don't know what kind of clay. There's Sculpey, there's Primo, there's Super Sculpey, there's all kinds of stuff mixed in. A little bit of souffle, but not a lot of souffle because I find that clay is real brittle. But so there's little specks and bits and bobbles and stuff. Because at one point I had a granite, and the granite clay has little specks in it. Anyway, so here we go. All right, so you're gonna cut two pieces that are the same size, and then you're gonna layer them up like this. All right. I couldn't find my tissue blade. Okay, I'm gonna pat from the center and go outward towards the edges, y'all. All right, pat and pat and pat and pat and pat and pat. I'm gonna flip it over, start from the center out. And what this does is, in theory, it's working air bubbles out. All right. So you have the two pieces, then you stack them. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the knife and we're gonna go diagonal. We're not going to go diagonal like this. We're gonna go diagonal like this. All right. See this? And there's a reason. All right. So next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna peel. Oh, I made a mistake. You're not gonna push the air out. Never mind. Delete that part about me pushing the air out. We're not doing that. So never mind. So what we're gonna do is slightly overlap them and press it down. and then flip it over and seal those seams up so that they're the two become one. And the nice thing about this is that you have two pieces, and sometimes you can layer them up, and that also helps. All right, so I'm just pressing that seam, and it's healing it, and it's become one piece. All right, so here's where the pasta roller is helpful. So when you fold this, fold in half like this, see that? And then roll it through the machine. And then that smushes that down, and then you're gonna have that be a little square. You can also, once you have two shapes that are the same, like this, if you only want to make one, you can make one. You can push them down like this. Well, this is called a Skinner blend, and you run this through over and over and over. But you can also do it by hand. You just roll it out with your roller, and then you roll it out, and then you fold it, roll it out, fold it, roll it out, and fold it. And eventually, you'll get some that's like this. Ta-da! It's the magic of TV, y'all. This is called a Skinner blend. And I rush these, so they're not optimal. But they're better than nothing, right? So they look kind of like this once you run it through enough. And it's good to use conditioned clay. And so condition your clay first and then then do the Skinner blend. And the reason why is that it makes it nice and soft and malleable. And if you don't condition your clay and your clay is like dried out, then what's going to happen is it's going to be all called a crumbly, a crumbly mess. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be crumbly mess. And nobody wants the crumbly mess. So make sure you're using conditioned clay. If you see any hairs, try to pick them out as you go. Michelle says, looks like tie-dye. Well, in a very controlled ombre gradient way, because you can get kind of all kinds of stuff, effects. And what I'm doing now is I'm kind of smushing things into a uniform shape. So I want this to be a rectangle. And the ends, I don't want to cut off the ends. Some people cut off the ends, but that's like, it's like the goodie. So I don't want to cut off the goodie. And I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna get demonstrated. All right. So I got this. I'm gonna smush the ends so that they're flat. And then I'm gonna come back on the other side and make sure that that's good and flat too. If you want to trim it, you can trim it. I don't like to trim it because then you end up with all these little giblets and you're like, what am I going to do with this? Some people, they have these boxes of scraps and they do that for like filler, but that's a personal choice, I guess. All right. So I picked the prettiest side and I put the pretty side on the outside. Because if there's and also if I see an air bubble, I'll lance it and kind of push it down, because the more we can reduce the air bubbles, the better. There are naturally going to be air bubbles because you've folded this so many times. It's like a pastry. This is like what you don't want your pastry. If your pastry does this, then you're in trouble. You're not going to have any kind of flaky pockets of goodness. It's going to be all solid, and whatever happens, no puff action. In polymer, we don't want the puff, but if you're going to have a pastry, a delicious pastry, then you do want the puff. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this. I keep getting hairs on this, and I am convinced that like my eyebrow hairs are like just falling into this. I need a hairnet, y'all. All right, so I'm going to slowly roll this up like so, applying even pressure across the way. And trying to keep everything all together and push out the air as I'm going, right? All right, and I'm gonna do this again. I'm putting the light color on the inside. I want the light color on the inside. I want the darker color on the outside. I guess it doesn't matter, but for me, that's what I want. So I made these little logs, y'all. So I'm gonna roll it up. All right. So I talked through how to do your own Skinner blend, and then so it's gonna look like this on the side. And you're like, what is he doing? Making a mess. So then you're just gonna blend this seam down so that it's a nice kind of log, seamless log. And that's what we're going to do, the seamless log. And I'm compressing it, y'all. This one kind of got seamless by itself. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the center and roll outward. Now, depending on how thick your log is and depending on how big you want your project to be, it's going to determine a lot of different things. All right, that's good enough. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. Okay. Now we're doing it again for thirds, I guess. I don't know why I end up having so many of these, but here we go. Skinner blend tube for everybody. I guess it's not a tube technically, since this doesn't have a hollow. If it does have a hollow, we don't want it. All right. So if you're a traditionalist, you take and you cut these off, and this is what it looks like. You get that little, that's how you make them dots, like that. And technically, when you're doing this, you should roll it gently, and then it doesn't distort the heck out of it. If you cut into it like how I was doing, you're going to get squashed in. See, I'm going to do it again. See, it could turn into oval. If you do this like this, gently rock it, and then you have a circle. That's kind of a circle. All right. So next thing you can do, we're going to do this again. Get that out the way. And if you use a tissue blade, they're a lot sharper, so you get cleaner cuts. But I can't find it, so I'll mix that up. That'll be real pretty. All right. Generally speaking, I like to have it be a little bit thicker, but of a log, and you can get that by smushing it like so. See? And then just roll it out a little bit. We're going to do that again. Just compress it and roll it out so it's nice and smooth. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our X-Acto knife or tissue blade, aka knife, and gently cut down the middle. So you get this. See that? See that? And do it again. All right. And this one got a little bit squirrely good. All right. And this one, we're going to do it again. Now, if you are using a tissue blade, it's good to mark the side that's up. And the reason why is because I've seen people that press it in and then they cut their finger. The knife, you know which side to cut with. But the other one, it kind of looks the same. So if you're in a rush, you kind of won't see that. All right. So the goal is to get this. Michelle says, I'm so confused on what you're making. Well, watch and then you'll see. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and press it down. So basically I'm turning it back into a log, right? And I'm going to do it again. So you're going to see it again. And you got a little log. You can kind of roll it too if you want. I don't want to distort this shape too much, but I do want that to be kind of on the round. But that kind of on the outside is what we're going for. We want that to be exposed, that pink. All right, I'm going to do it again. And we're going to do it again. All right. So next thing we're going to do, after we press this down, normally you'd be working on one, but since I did the power of TV, I ended up with a bunch of extras. Is I'm going to take one side and gently roll that one side. So I'm going to take that and I'm going. I don't want to twist it, but I do want this to get to be a point. So you've got this. Whoop. If it messes up, which is not really messed up, you can always just put it in place, you know? So I'm going to do it again. So this one already kind of naturally has that. And I'm just going to squeeze this down like so. All right. So basically I have a chunky end and a skinny end. I'm going to do that again. So this one naturally has that in that. So I'm going to work with what it naturally has going. And there you go. All right. And I'm going to roll this down and make that into a point. Maybe some of y'all going to know what I'm working on, can guess. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. See, that one has a little point kind of already there. So I'm just going to squeeze that and make that into, you just roll with that shape. All right. We're going to end up with a whole thing. Dominion says clay icicles. Nope. I guess it could be if you want to stop there. Now, the other thing that you can do if you have, let me run down and get something real quick. And then hopefully I have one. You'll see. Marion says, right now they remind me of headless little fishes. Getting closer. So while I'm cleaning the kitchen, so we'll just have to skip this step, the one step. But that's okay. But I'll describe it. All right. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to squish it up and make a little ball. And then I'm going to mix the colors in a little bit. Not too much because I kind of want there to be a little bit of that, that separation. But here you go. All right. So I'm going to squish the colors up and make a little ball. All right. This is a little bit tricky because there's not a lot of room. Well, let me get this one. I want mostly blue. And the pink I'm just going to take and I'm going to save that for something else. And I'm going to work that in. All right. Dominion says a series of long beads to make a graduated turquoise looking necklace. I'm not going to ruin it yet. I'm not going to ruin the surprise. Because I guess it's a surprise. I don't think it's going to be a surprise, but I guess it is. So, there you go. All right. Just mixing the colors up. How many ones do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 6 little balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6-ish. That one's going to be a little bit smaller. All right. So I've got this. And I'm going to stick this on the end. It's cuter when they're a little bit bigger head. And this looks a hot mess right now. But you'll see. Maybe. All right. And then I've got 2 more little things. And I'm not really pressing too hard. And then, but I am going to blend this down. So I want this to be smoothed out. You know how it is. You don't want to have it be all rounded, all broken up like that. You want that all smooth, no seams. This is new-ish clay, so so it's real easy to smooth. If you're using older clay, you may have to be more aggressive with it, but since it's new, it just smears right in. That's one of the nice things about using the fresh clay. If you're on our Patreon, um, because of you, we are able to get some fresh clay. So thank you. We always try to use the money towards um, getting new art supplies or do improvements on the cottage. And so I told where I get my clay in the Patreon, and yeah, that's nice. And people are joining that. All right. So let me put this. Dominius, the screen is small for me if I have chat up, so that's why I thought some of those ideas. All right, so I'm going to continue to blend on the edges. If you're following along, you can just make one or however many you want, but I think these are cute. You'll see. These will be cute. All right. So, there's that. They kind of look like little sperm right now. Blue ones. Mr. Freeze style. So I'm just smearing this in and combining these. I'm sure that you could do this in a different way to make it a little bit easier, but I like this because there's a little bit more bulbous at the end. And that way you get to see. All right. So I'm squeezing this down and kind of rolling it a little bit to make it a little bit longer. This board I need to scrape. When I get my tissue blade, I'm just going to rake this across that and scrape all that business off. All right. So I know some of y'all have probably guessed it. I mean, it's not really a surprise, but I guess it turned into a surprise. So you can make these as long as you want. If you make it too short, people don't know what the heck you're doing. But if you make it longer, you can make these as long as you want. The only thing you have to worry about is if they get too thin, and then it's breaky time. So, in theory, what we would be doing, well, we've got a couple steps, but I'm going to describe, something first before we go too far. So, normally we have an onion bag in our house, and it's like a mesh sack. They also have I do know where there's a mesh sack because we usually take it to go mushroom picking. But I'm not gonna run down the thing. Excuse me, but you place it on the back side and then you gently press it down, and then it leaves a little snakeskin pattern. That's definitely not the pattern that makes it, but we're going to improvise since we don't have that right now. So you'll just cross hatch it like so. It looks better if you use that mesh stuff though, because it leaves a nice good indentation. And so we're going to just continue texturing. Normally you'd just be doing one, you'd be already done. But this one's a little chunky one. That's all right. All right. So here you go. And just repeat. And then repeat again. Then again. This is kind of like how you score and slip clay if you're joining stuff, but we're not really after that. We're after the texture. There's other things that you can do also if you want to be experimental. There's all different ways of adding texture. So that's all I'm doing, just making this little bit of texture. Now, another way that you can do that is if you have a bead, I would pick one that has a little bit stronger edges, maybe. You can go and texture like that. There's all different kinds of ways that you can impress texture. You could probably even take some beadwork. Let me see if this will actually work or not. Kind of. It gives you a texture. Maybe not the one you want, but something. Those round beads do a little bit better than the square ones, I think. Now, generally speaking, I would do this kind of towards the end, just because the more, when you do the texture, what happens is, your fingers can smush it as you're working it. So just be mindful of that. Use firm pressure to add the texture, but when you're manipulating your snake, you won't want to push too hard, because then guess what? You're not going to have, it's going to get smushed away, and then it's going to be gone. Now, if you want it to be fancy, you could also do mica powders, all kinds of stuff. Now, we'll need 2 little black beads. Let me see. I got 2 little black beads. You'd think I have it. Let me go and get something real quick, because these are kind of big for this. Well, it will just look real cute then. I have great big eyes. So these are kind of 6mm. I'm going to pick the one with the biggest head. And these are beads. And I'm going to put see the hole? I'm going to put that off to the side so it don't go in. So you don't see the hole. See, that's the hole? Go on the side. So you don't actually see it. That one got kind of messed up, but that's all right. And then I'm going to form the clay around it so that it's a lip. It's a bezel. If you don't, do that, then they'll pop right out, and then that's that. So I'm going to take a little bit of this clay, and I'm going to make a little coil, a little itty bitty coil. I'm going to go around the eye. And if you wanted to do this in a different color, you could do this in a different color. I'm just using what I got right here in front of me. But this is going to help keep the eye in the socket. Just like how your eyelid works. That's how this is going to work. See? And then we're going to take this and we're going to blend down only the outside seam. All right? If you blend you can blend the inside, but you're going to lose some of that definition, that raised definition. In theory, you can make this all kinds of rainbow. And you can also do this on an armature if you want this to be stronger. If you're going to use this as like a pendant for jewelry, you might consider that. And what that is just like a wire through it. And you can add that. You could add that now. You just have to be a little bit careful. I'll just smooth that down so that it looks nice. All right, that's the eye hole. See how there's a little bit of a dip here? I'm going to fix that dip real quick. You dip, you dip, you dip. All right. That's right. I was going to do it green and brown, and then it could be the wood snake. But that's what we got. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So I'm going to take and make a little another coil. It's better if you get the coil, one long coil, and then you only have one kind of seam to fix. I did that in pieces, and I had more seams to fix and blend. But if you have one continuous little log, then you only have that one thing where it joins. See there? I'm gonna push this on. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you want to take a class with me, I'm going to be teaching on February 22nd at Contemporary Craft in Pittsburgh. We're going to be doing basic mold making. And so if you want to do that, we're going to be doing that. And you can blend that if you don't like the look of it to be pop out like this, like as a bug eye, you can smooth that in too. But you do need something that's going to help keep the eye in place. Otherwise, when it's baked, it will just pop right out. And then I want a little face. It's cute. So I'm going to kind of pinch it like this. I'm working on its little snout and then push it in. And then I'll add a little nostrils. And then their mouths are pretty big, so if you've ever seen a snake open its mouth, Amy says, I wish too far though. If you want, you can stay with us. Oop. So that's kind of a mess, but you get the point. And then I like my snake to be happy, so I'm going to take the rounded edge and go into the corner of its mouth hole. And make it look like it's smiling. All right, I smushed that side. And then, so now we can kind of adjust it. So if you wanted it to be like a pendant, you could have it be like that. See? Like that little baby snake. And put a bell, maybe put a ring. That'd be cute. And its mouth. I don't have a jump ring that big. But in theory, you just put a big jump ring and then close it up through there. And then you can have it like it's like biting the ring. That'd be cute. See that? And that's its little belly. If you want. Because the skin on the belly of the snake is a little bit lighter. But in case some people don't like snakes. Mason says, love the colors in the snake, Andrew, and the way the eyes done. Just speaks as myself as an old water snake. Oh, nice. So there you go. But you can position these in all different kinds of ways. I would probably make the eyes a little bit smaller myself, just because this is a little bit not proportional. If you just wanted this to hang out, you can make it hang out. But you could also make them interlock, however you want to do it. Little snake nest. You have to press the heck out of that though, so that it would be joined. You could also make it an aurora borealis or boris. Make it eat its own tail. And position it where maybe make it that mouth a little bit smaller. Mini snake pit. Can make it around a thing, the top of a pen. And just have it go around there like that. And what you would do is you'd bake it and then glue it after. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this little critter. You can make them kiss. In theory, you could also, if you have the end of like a magnet clasp, you can bury it inside of its mouth and cover it over, and it still works. So then they can join like that, and people be like, "How is this working? Are you a wizard?" So there you go. This is when you are ready to bake this. There's a couple things to consider. So one of the things to consider is what is your final form. So if you are just have it and you just want it to be flat, you want the snake to be flat and just round like this. Because maybe you don't want to do the eyes. You don't have to do the eyes. Put the face. Maybe you want to be more like, you want to carve it in instead of embed the eyes. I like the embedded look. I think it adds a nice contrast. But maybe you want it to look like old turquoise or something. That's up to you. You can also sculpt it where you can like make it like give it eyelashes, even though snakes don't have eyelashes. But in your world, you can have whatever you want. Maybe this is like a little baby feathered serpent. Can be petroglyph style, whatever you want. But if you want it flat like this or whatever, like this looks a little bit better. Then bake it like that on a tile and put a little aluminum foil tent over it. Put it in the oven for 275 at 275 Fahrenheit. And you're going to want to do that for, it should be 15 minutes for every quarter-inch thickness. So if you want that to be, whatever. Another thing, so I put this in probably about 30 minutes or so. If you put it on this tile, when you lift this up, when it's baked, this is going to be shiny. It's going to look, because the texture of this will what we call it, telegraph to this side, and it's going to be super smooth. If you don't want it to be smooth like glass, what you can do is take a paper towel and put that down in the bottom of your cookie sheet, and then put that on there, and then it's not going to have that. It's going to be a matte finish. Another option is you can put a layer of baking powder, and then when it bakes on that, it's going to be a real matte finish. You can also do that with cornstarch. You cannot reuse the baking powder or the cornstarch once it's baked. It loses its. I guess you could do whatever you want, but it's not going to be as strong. And I don't know if the cornstarch will have its same qualities after it's baked several times. But there you go. Pam says, it appears I'm the only one watching on Facebook tonight. No, I do not like snakes. Well, you're actually on Instagram, so that could also be that. But it's the year of the snake. So happy New Year, everyone. Happy Lunar New Year. I hope that it's nice to be able to celebrate and appreciate all the different cultures from around the world. Suzanne says, I'm here and I love snakes. Oh, good. So you can do this like this. You can also put this on other things. If you're going to do a sculptural form, you're going to want to put it on like a mandrel and then bake it on the mandrel. And then when you're done, you just pull the mandrel out and then glue it onto whatever you're going to do. But there you go. Those are fun, right? I kind of like the carved one. But this has a little more like playful look. And then this one has like somebody done carved it ancient Egypt style. So there you go. I'm not cursed. Charlie says, I like snakes. I'm just bopping around. Yeah. And then you can also add a little bit more texture if you want. Go back in. Now, the cool thing is that after you bake it, then you can embellish it with paint and really make it shine. But this actually looks a lot like turquoise, to be honest. Like the stone fetishes. So that's what I made as a project for Happy New Year, Lunar New Year. Of course, there's all kinds of hair in there now. Whenever you're about to fire it, pick all these out. Got all the cat hair on it because was hugging on Tallulah before I went live. And then you just smooth it out. There you go. And then, of course, the more you play with it, the more it's going to get deformed. So just keep that in mind. You're going to want to find your shapes and then, add your texture and then bake it pretty soon. If you mess around with it and start adjusting it too much, your fingers are going to smash all your texture off and distort the shape. But there's all different kinds of ways. And you can use these in combination too. So if you want to do more than one in one piece, you can do that also. So that you can have, the thing is that wherever I'm going to do a separate one. We're going to do it like this. So, I like snakes in art. I don't mind real life snake, but I don't want to like touch it. What they call this? Agilis. That thing that, what's his face? Mercury. You got it. It means for healing. I'm making that up. The doctors and the nurses, they have that. It's on the staff. Suzanne says Cadius. I don't know how to say that. Caduceus. Well, there you go. What's the Agilis? Oh, that's the Medusa head. Never mind. You could do a Medusa head with these too. You want to make a lot. There you go. We'll make an afro. But let's see what else we got. Yeah, so these are real pliable, so you can do whatever you want. Charlie says, "I was pre-summoned." Charlie says, "The large eyes are precious, but both are lovely." Man says, "Not 100% sure about that. The spelling. Yeah, I don't know. That stuff goes away. One time I knew it. Now I don't." Let's see. There you go. You can make your own little whatever. Get a vase, stick this business on. If you do decide to do, if you're going to shape it like onto like a glass vase, the polymer and the glass are not going to bind. So what ends up happening is that once you bake it and it cools, it's going to pop right off. That's not the end of the world though, because then you can take and give a tooth to the bottom of it. So rough it up a little bit and then put some adhesive. You could use E6000 or Loctite and then glue it back in place where it was, and then it will have the perfect shape of whatever it was. Now you could also cover a vessel in polymer clay. I've seen people do it. It's really easy when you have a pasta machine because you can just roll it out to a smooth, even thickness and then basically drape it over your polymer clay piece and then press it onto that. It's not really going to be stuck, but because of like the bulbousness shape of it, when it goes onto that, it won't come off because it's kind of like like this, but it's not actually being stuck to it, if that makes any sense. But see, you can have fun with this. I thought we could do something fun for the Lunar New Year since it's the year of the snake. And then, like I said, bake it in the oven, 275, and 15 minutes for every 1/4 inch thickness. So I put these in for about 30 minutes. Make sure it's tented, or you have something on top, unless you have a dedicated oven or toaster oven, and then it will be cooked. But you could do all kinds of stuff. Put before you bake it, you could put a jump ring in it and make it into a pendant. Let's see, I've got a jump ring here. Open, an open jump ring. Yeah, that's open. I wonder if any of you are going to do this. I know some of y'all don't like snakes, so probably not you. But for the folks who do like them, maybe. Right? And then you just put it in the mouth. And then I push it closed like this. And then that's how you can get this. That's not exactly optimal. I would spend a little bit more time on it with the shape of the head and stuff. But also put the split side inside, and then you have a solid ring. So if you wanted to make a little earrings, these would be good for earrings. It'd be lightweight. I would stretch this out just a wee bit because otherwise it looks kind of like a skink, but without the legs. So just giving it a little bit more definition between the head and the body. I like it. I like how they move. It kind of creeps me out, but in like the best way. So there's all different kinds of options for this project. If you do decide to make it, be sure to tag us. Now, if you want it to be like real fiddly, you can go and take your sculpting tool and go through like this, because they have more pronounced scales around the mouth. You could even put fangs in if you wanted to. Suzanne says cute. So that's up to you how much you decide to do, because you can make these real elaborate. Like you could, in theory, sculpt every single scale. But the problem with that is that if you do every scale, what's going to happen is you have to be real careful that you're not going to accidentally smush your work. All right. Michelle says those are fun. Thanks. I hope you all enjoyed that. In theory, we have lots tonight, but William, he got the lots, but I don't know where he put them. So if he's watching, maybe he can tell us, because I don't remember where he was. I was taking a shower when he left, so I didn't get to see where he put everything. Or do I hear him? Is he here? Anyways, should be here. How about I do a little face? Oh, he said he just pulled in. Well, we got this. I'm gonna do a little face then. We'll do a little bonus. I don't. Do you all want these? Because I'm just gonna smush it. Otherwise, so the lots are on the kitchen counter. We'll bring them up, bro. So I don't have to run down. Does anybody want these? Like, as like I could make these to sell, I guess. If I do that, I'll probably do a little bit. I'll do a different, make it a little nicer. Suzanne says I'd take one. All right. Well, I'll put these off to the side then. Maybe I fix it. I'll remake them, make them real nice. All right. So for this project, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do a really quick face. I've had a lot of people asking about how I do faces. So what I do is I take a little piece off and put that off to the side. I'm gonna roll this in a ball. I'm using the meat of my hand to form it. And then I'm gonna press it down. Okay. So I've got this little, I formed this into kind of a oval shape. And then I'm going to take my pinky, since this is a smaller one, and put 2 dots. That's the eye hole, eye socket. I'm going to take a pinky and put that for the mouse hole. See? And then I'm going to take the eye, and it's a bead, and push it in. And take an eye and push it in. And then I take this little leftover and I roll this into a coil, and it's going to be a tapered coil. So I want that to be tapered on both sides. Usually I'm too impatient to precisely measure it. So I just do that and then I cut it. And then I put it on this side and do that like that. I always like to have a little extra because sometimes with the clay that I have, it's hard to blend. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll do different kinds of stuff. Like I'll try to make it a different shade on purpose, and that can kind of give an extra sense of character. And then the trick is to blend the seams. I've been sculpting these faces since I was a child. And I used to sell them at this little store in downtown Orlando. And she gave me a little shelf and I could sell things. And I didn't know anything about how to sell my stuff. The first time when she sold my stuff and she gave me my check, I said, "How come it's half?" She said, "That's called wholesale." And so I learned about when a shop takes their cut. But then I went and I took the money that I had, that I made off of it. I made this little creature that was biting a ship in half. And I took the money that I made from that and I bought more clay. And I bought doll eyes. And I made more little creatures. And decades later, I'm still doing it. You know, for a while, I didn't think anybody liked them. So I kind of stopped. But that's what I do. Mary Jane says, "Hello, Andrew and everyone." That one has got hair in it. I'm trying to get that hair out. Note to self, don't wrestle with Tallulah before going on the live. All right. So there's a couple different schools of thought here. Now, one of the things that you can do is blend the marks in as smooth as you can and leave no marks from your tool. But I kind of like the marks because when I paint these, then the paint gets in the little nooks and crannies, and then it's nice, you know? It kind of holds the paint in there. Mary Jane says, "Oh my OMG, I love what you're making." Oh, I make these all the time. And then so when I'm gonna do a nose, if I do nose, I don't always do a nose for my little creatures. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I think about different ways that I can do different expressions. So if you want to make it look more suspicious, you close the eye so it's just a little slit. If you want it to be more like surprise, you make them real wide. So at every level, there's a way to inject kind of personality into your creation. So and individuality too. So if you want the eyes, you can space them real far. You can put them real close. You can put them off centered. It's up to you how you do it. You could make one big eye, one little eye. There's all different ways, all these little choices that you can make. So I made a little teardrop. I'm going to put that in there. And that's going to be the nose. And then I'm just blending down the edges. So I have a couple of sculptures in the process. And I'll probably try to debut those at some point soon. Ideally, I'd like to raise gas money for my next class. I won a scholarship to the folk school, which is in Brasstown, North Carolina. It seems like I've been going to North Carolina a lot. I'm going to be back again to teach in May. And then I'll also be at Penland at the end of April and beginning of May. I hear my own voice. So this is the basic shape of the nose, and then you put the nostrils in, and then you can flare it around like this. I can hear myself out there. I'm like, what you doing? Just creeping outside the door. Just kind of.
No, I was trying to get the light on.
Oh.
Hello, everybody.
William is here.
Hello, here are your lots.
I'm going to go.
I'm going to cook. What are you talking about?
I was going to cook.
I'll be fine cooking.
No, because you need somebody to write the paper and then one to show the things. And then that's how you make it easy.
What?
And then to do the upper lip, you make a little tapered log. All the people say hello to you.
Hello, hello.
And then
how's everyone's New Year?
Lunar New Year.
Lunar New Year.
Happy Chinese. It's not just Chinese. So I blended the top lip, just the top of that tapered piece, and then the bottom lip. And I'm going to do just the bottom. I'm kind of in the mood. Oh, I had a piece of green. I'll just scrape that out. And then I'm just going to do the bottom. And then if you want to add cheeks, you can add cheeks. I'm running out of this peachy clay, though. I'll pinch them off that. You can add cheeks. And of course, when I'm doing this, I take a little bit more, like if I'm doing this for real, I take a little bit more time. But since this is just a demo, real quick one, then I'm not gonna spend too much time because I am very, very tired and would like to rest. I haven't been able to sleep, and I think it's because the orientation of the bed. Something just messes with my brain. And so I haven't been able to sleep very well this week. And so I feel a little bit like, I don't know, something's happening to me. I'm starting to look like this creature. This deep gouges on my face.
I'm breaking out on my face. I don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
One side breaking out.
That's probably need to wash the pillows. And then I get this, and like this, and then like this, and then there you go. That looks so terrible, but you get the idea. The more time you spend on your creature, the better it will be. Like, because you'll be blending stuff in and really kind of making choices about expressions, and little simple marks will change up your creation. Like if you want a bigger forehead, you can do that. And then if you want to do Medusa time, there you go. See here? There you go, done. All right. Marianne says, as far as I'm concerned, one's head should be in the north. I don't know what that means.
When you sleep,
Oh.
orient toward the north.
Well, what orientation is ours? Because I haven't been able to sleep. Look, this is how I feel. Ragnar in the snake pit. And that's what Marianne said. You can always swap it out. Press something else. All right, I'm gonna go, and then William will step
Hold
in.
on, keep going.
All right, I smushed it.
You smushed it. I'm trying to get things
slowly organized.
Yeah, because I just got here. I haven't been home all day.
Oh no. Mary Jane says, love the snakes in the face. Well, Mary Jane, if you watch the beginning of this live after we're done, the replay, I show how to make these. I show how to make this. And people are like, what in the hey is that? And then it was revealed. Because this is the Chinese New Year. And it's the year of the wood snake. This, I didn't have the green, so I went with this teal. And so that's why we ended up with this, like this turquoise color. These actually turned out pretty good. Not that I'm surprised, but
you sound surprised.
Sometimes, I have ideas in my head. It's like, is this going to work? Or is this going to look like a hot mess? And that kind of looks good. Like, that looks like I carved out a turquoise, except bendy. Alright. Mary Jane said, I want to buy those snakes. Well, maybe I'll make some more, and I'll spend a little bit more time on them, and then they'll look good. What'd you work on in your class, William?
Trimming, mostly.
Trimming.
Yeah, I did trimming.
Teresa says, the snakes look so good. Thanks. I tried hard. The face I squashed that. That's the thing is somebody was like, oh my gosh, you squashed all your work. You know what? I make this stuff in my sleep. So, and I don't want to say that in like a weird way, but I make them so much that if I don't like it, it doesn't hurt me. I will say one thing that I do sometimes do when I'm sculpting faces is that sometimes I will leave the polymer clay out and I'll leave it on a piece of paper. And what that ends up doing is it soaks some of the liquid out onto the paper. It draws it out and makes it a little bit stiffer. And the reason why sometimes I want a stiffer clay is I want some of my definition to stay. Now, here's another thing. If you're really struggling with squashing your layers, you can cook and bake some of the under layers. So if if you're really struggling and you want this all to have the same shape, say you're going to make a batch of ornaments and you want them all to have the same exact shape, roll out your shape of clay and then bake that, and then you can sculpt right on top of it and blend it in. Now, one thing you have to be mindful of is if you're going to stick something in it, you have to have a recessed cavity that will work. Where, like, if you're going to have an eye hole, if you don't, they're going to stick out and they're going to be bug-eyed because it's going to stick up like this. So if you don't want that and you want it to be recessed, put your recess areas first. And then when you bake that, then you can put this in there I mean, that's if you want. That's if you want that shape to never change. Does that make sense? Yep. No. All right. And then you can just make a. And also, if you don't want to go and do all that, sometimes simple is better. Look how happy. I'm just going to look at you. All sweet and loving like. You'll be like, what in the hey? What's happening? And that's what's happening. It's going to smile at you. Here, we'll make this a little snake little face, Voldemort style. Even though I don't like the Harry Potter anymore. Look.
Okay.
I'm gonna make out with Nagini or whatever its name. And it says, hello, Andrew. Love those snakes. Thanks. Happy Lunar New Year. It's the year of the wood snake. So I decided to make some snakes tonight. But then I was stalling for time. So I made a little face. And now I can go.
You gotta help. What are you talking about?
I'm going to go, but I'm not going to be on camera. I'm going to grab
So
up my stuff.
Some of these things I pulled because I thought you were doing the show and you know what they are and I don't.
Oh, get my knife. I'm not going to say anything because I want to get banned from our livelihood.
Don't get banned.
It's already.
Don't get banned.
You're right.
Okay, what's happening, everybody?
Say hi to them.
I'm saying hi. I'm getting there. You let the computer go dark.
Mm.
I don't want to
My
lose
hands was messy.
I don't want to lose our.
Are these the
Instagram.
ones?
Yeah, those are the ones.
All right. Wow.
Those are the ones that I picked for you.
Don't be dropping stuff.
Get that.
Look at how she do, y'all.
Get that.
And you could put that in the box for those people's stuff. Oh.
I thought they were cracked.
No, those are not. Oh. Nope.
All right. Where's my Sharpie?
I have no idea.
Well, this might be. This one will
Here.
work.
Give me the Sharpie then.
I got it.
Do you just want to go? Freestyle?
Here, go ahead. Hello, everybody.
What's tonight's letters, y'all?
Pick a letter.
WS.
Let's see. Have we used that before?
I don't know.
WS yachts.
For wood snake.
That is usable. We'll do it. Let me pull up the email.
Do y'all want some good deals tonight?
Andrew's here. He's going to give you the extra good.
Yeah. I need gas money for the trip in 1 week. So
where are you going in a week?
I'm going to the folk school to work with.
I thought that was in May.
No, that is Penland.
Oh my goodness. How long are you going to be at the folk school?
1 week.
In 1 week and 1 week?
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
Sounds like you need more time by yourself. That's what it sounds like.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Does it?
You're going to get disciplined.
Okay.
No Andrew time.
Oh my.
All right.
Okay, let me make sure I did all these emails. Got it. I did that. Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Who's ready?
Who's ready, y'all?
Who's ready?
I'm worn out.
WS.
It was a highly concentrated day at my class today.
Oh.
Highly concentrated day.
Well, this is WS1.
WS1 is this beautiful. What's going on here?
That's Jasper, y'all.
Pendant with no lights on it.
Sterling silver. I can guarantee you if I made that, it would not be that inexpensive.
No, no, no. Jasper in sterling. Look, that's stamped.
Yeah, I do.
925.
Which is probably the bale's that, and the bezel's probably fine silver. My
And I don't know what is it?
Huh?
What's the
stone?
No, the maker mark on there.
I don't know.
It is more randomness, Suzanne, yes. More randomness. That's WS1. Wait, where's my ruler? Where is everything?
Yeah, where?
What's happening? Yeah. What's going on?
Ooh, you look pretty.
Marianne wants a good deal, but need to get up at 4:30. Not sure how long you'll be able to stay. Well, stay, Marianne. 4:30 is not that. It's pretty far away. Jane says, "I hear you. I have to be up at 5."
Oh boy, y'all.
Oh, y'all get up early.
I'm supposed to get up early.
I know you are.
I haven't been sleeping well. So
I know you haven't. Hardly at all.
I know.
WS2.
There you go.
Look at these. Beautiful, all different kinds of quartz. You've got some strawberry quartz. You've got some regular quartz. You've got some not, I have tourmalinated. This is not. This is rutilated. Rutilated quartz. These are beautiful. Look at that rutilation in there. Look at that. How rutilation is those little gold spikes throughout that. Really, really pretty. Just a nice blend of quartz. You get a full strand of this. This strand is 16 inches. And these little, I don't know what shape that is. They're about 15 and a half by about 15 and a half. Mary Jane says, Andrew, drink some of that clove water. That'll put you to sleep.
Huh?
Drink some clove water.
So what am I doing?
Drink some clove water.
So what I do? Put a handful of cloves in some water and then
you do.
boil it.
Michelle says, hubby's procedure is tomorrow. He has to go to sleep early too. Well, hopefully his procedure goes great tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sending good energy his way. What is this? $8? Is this vintage check?
Yeah.
$8 for a dollars for a 14-inch strand.
Correct.
Look how pretty that is.
He's doing deals tonight, y'all.
He is.
Give you that gas money. That's not going to get very far otherwise.
Look at that. And then these are
Charity. Come pick me
about
up.
Who's Charity?
My teacher.
Oh, those are 10 millimeter
Hopefully
faceted rounds. Making me nervous holding it.
Hopefully she likes me.
WS3 has sold. Thank you so much.
Some people don't like me.
Really?
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise, he says. Some people find you off-putting.
Correct.
Mary Jane says put about 5 to 6 in a cup and boil, then cover and simmer, and then drink it.
I think I'm going to have to do the deep inner strength for that. Because I need something to make that taste good. Now, that's expensive, y'all. That's what you call rutile times 10.
Look at
rutile
that rutilated quartz. Very clear.
What's that?
That was 4. Look at that. That is nice. Look at that. Anna says, I thought the last one was W53. Glad someone beat me to it. That's all right. I would have figured it out. Look at that. $28 only. I'm going to do this one in inches. This one is about 1 3/4 by 5/8 of an inch or so.
It's WS for wood snake, y'all.
Wood snake. It's drilled across the top. You wear that on either side. It looks beautiful. Beautiful pendant. WS4. That's some high end right there.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he had a shaved head And he wore sneakers to the show and a fanny pack.
Sneakers and a fanny pack.
And he used to be set up across from me for years and years and years. And he would make these like tab shaped kind of pendants that he did with the lapidary.
Anna, are you just joining in? I wasn't here, so I don't know who was here or who wasn't.
What?
Is Anna just joining in? Hello, Anna.
She just come on recently.
Look at this, everybody. Look at this carnelian. Carnelian drops.
Just for good luck.
Super beautiful color on these. Oh, WS4 just sold that pendant. Somebody got a good deal on that beautiful piece. It's so nice in the hand, too. It feels good. This is WS5. This is carnelian. These are carnelian drops. Jermaine says, I thought Andrew was out of town. There probably wouldn't be live tonight. He came home early.
I'm not out of town.
No, he's in Johnstown. But he came home early from Johnstown to do the live with y'all tonight so I could go to my class. It's a 16-inch strand of carnelian. Look how luscious those are. We've got 4 of them available. Let me show you another one just so you can see.
Also because I busted my ass.
Yeah, he did.
Twice. Did you tell
Twice? You didn't tell me twice.
I did this morning when I was going. That's
What'd
one
you
of the reasons
do?
why I laid down for a little bit. I fell on my butt this morning.
When?
This morning.
Outside?
Mm-hmm. On the ice, not ice inside.
I thought I'd put down enough salt.
It was right over behind the van.
Oh, I tried to salt there, but
it didn't melt yet.
It didn't melt yet.
Because it was thick.
Yeah, it's super thick there.
And so
you came back in and laid down a little bit. These are 13. Boy, you're just falling all over.
I know.
13 by 13 millimeters.
But did you see how hardcore I look? Like I got in a fight.
And then you did something. What'd you say you did? You hit the bench grinder today?
Yeah, because I was so tired.
So you ground down your hand a little bit?
No, just took the surface layer off.
Just the surface layer. That was 5. Mary Jane says, ouch, Andrew.
You know, I'm going to move the bed. I don't care.
What are you going to do?
I took 2 Benadryl last night and I still couldn't sleep.
We're just going to need to flip the mattress.
Correct. Because it hurts my back.
The mattress, yeah, because we need to flip the mattress because it's starting to get too indented in one spot and it's hurting both of our backs. So I just have, because the mattress is a king and we don't go to bed at the same time. So I have been going to bed before Andrew and it's too heavy for me to flip on my own. So I've just been sleeping at the foot of the bed. I flipped myself around.
The cats don't know what to do with them.
No, Barnaby has no clue. He's like, what is going on? And they keep running up on my head. This is a carnelian.
No, not carnelian.
Oh, red agate?
Yeah, what you call it?
What do you call it?
Red agate.
Red agate? Red agate pendant. I don't know what the difference between that and carnelian is, but...
You can tell. Look at the color. It's got that cooked color.
The cooked color? All right.
Look at it. It's got that band.
Yeah, carnelian has bands. Okay. Don't they?
Sometimes. All right, so carnelian. So what they do sometimes to make the flavor more intense is they put it in a little thing, a clay oven, and they cook it in the rocks in the oven, and that makes them more bright color. Did y'all know that?
So you don't call that carnelian then?
You know what? There's a lot of names for a lot of things.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
What's that number?
This was $6. It's only $8 for this red agate.
This is vintage, y'all.
Yes, it is vintage. 1 pendant, and this pendant is 2 1/8 inches. And that hole is gigantic. That hole, I'll do that in inches too. That's just about an inch. Just about actually it's over an inch, 1 1/8 inches.
But
it's a beautiful pendant.
anyways, so I told her when the Mark, and he came around, he's like, "How are you?" I was like, "I'm fine, but I'm busted up tired." And then I was like, "I'm gonna go." Because I could have probably stayed an extra hour, but
Yeah, you could have easily stayed another hour.
I was kind of at an end point in my day, and also the sun was still out, so I didn't want to wait until it was dark.
No, driving
So that
home in the
I could-
dark.
I don't usually, when I get a full night's rest or whatever I consider a full night's rest, I don't mind driving in the dark. But when I'm busted up tired, I don't particularly like to drive when it's dark, because then I get sleepy a little bit when it's like warm.
Yeah,
in
you
the
do.
car with the heater.
This is beautiful dogtooth amethyst beads.
I already have trouble.
Look at the
staying
color.
awake.
Yeah, you do. Except when you're in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's wide awake.
Go in the bed to wake up.
Yeah, he does.
What is that number?
7. And these are only $28 a strand. These are really high quality dogtooth amethyst beads. There are 3 strands available. Look at those. Great quality, beautiful strands, about 16-inch strands. And these beads are 17 by 13 millimeters. 17 by 13 millimeters. $28 each only. 3 strands available. Dogtooth amethyst.
And if you didn't hear, I'm at a residency at the Center for Medlar in Johnstown. The one, she talked to me. She's this famous blacksmith. I was like, you know, talking to me? And she said, she's like, you know, this is great, except the beds are killing me.
Oh.
And she was talking about how she couldn't sleep in the bed.
We've sold one of the 7s. Thank you so much. Here's some carnelian. You're like, I can't sleep in my bed either.
I know,
And it's my own.
But usually I prefer to sleep at home because then I usually get a little bit more sleep.
Look at that.
In theory. But I don't know. Maybe there's something in the air. There's a lot going on in the world.
There is.
A person up at night.
There is. 16-inch strand of carnelian. Where's that red agate? That's carnelian, right? Because it's orangey.
Carnelian.
Carnelian.
Oh, you want some carnelian? I got some carnelian.
That's a really good price. These are juicy. Like if you're gonna try and eat a bead, but don't eat the beads, these look like gushers or something. They look like gummies. They're so beautiful. And they are 13 by 13.8 approximately. They're all different sizes though. 1 strand only left. WS8. $14. Whoa! Hit the camera.
Wouldn't this be fun with that? Wouldn't that be fun with that last one?
This with the carnelian?
Uh-huh. We go completely, and then add a little bit of green, and then your gators.
Look at that.
I think that's S-word.
S-word crystal.
Sterling
vintage, silver. Set in a sterling silver.
Box clasp.
Box clasp. Stamped 925. It's real. Box clasp. And this box clasp is approximately 15 millimeters by 23.7. Boy, you really brought the price down on that. These normally are like on sale at $32.
Don't worry about that. I told you I need that gas money.
And he's saying to put it with this carnelian.
Is that too contrasty?
Let's see, everybody. What do y'all think? Would you do it together? Would you do that together?
Curious.
Look at that.
Too contrast?
Look at that. That's a bright spot of blue in that sea of orange.
Is it too much?
What do you think, everybody?
I don't know. It needs something to bridge it.
Need a bridge.
It's two something.
Marianne says carnelian and red agate are both chalcedony, but carnelian is harder and polishes better.
Must be true. Wow. There you go. Here's some more carnelian.
Michelle says, LOL, don't eat the beads. I also tell my son, don't shake the beads.
Yeah, I know, right?
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
No. Let's not shake them back.
Anna says, beautiful. Michelle says, too blue with that. Yeah. Marianne says, I would do them together. Michelle says, I need more. WS9. Wow, that has sold. Somebody took you at that price.
Okay.
That's a good price. You gotta, that's a good deal. So these are carnelian. These are hand carved.
In Afghanistan.
Hand carved from Afghanistan. Carnelian little mini strands.
They're little
beehives.
Little shells.
Little shells.
You know, okay. Here's story time, y'all.
Story time.
I got my first exhibit in maybe 10 years. Maybe more than that. Well, I had one main exhibit, but first, like, somebody I didn't actually know, and they picked my artwork to show. And it's in Cookeville, Tennessee. And so we're going to drive down there. So we went to this bead show. We stopped along the way so we could write the trip off. And we forgot the strand. So we drove back in a blind panic to go get them beads. Then this torrential storm came swooping through the Smoky Mountains, and we couldn't see to drive, and it's on these twisty mountain roads. So we ended up having to pull off at the Burger King.
Danger, danger.
And I just cried. I talked to Bree, and I said, Bree, I'm not going to be able to make it.
I know, that was sad.
And so we by the time we get there, it's going to be over.
That was sad. But we were safe, at least.
We got the beads.
So somebody's saying chips of lapis with the look
with that blue.
With that blue.
Oh,
so
is that one of our from last night?
So that is, I think this one is sold. This one was on the D stash. Sorry, you missed out on that. But look at that strand. Let me make sure you missed out. Yeah, somebody already grabbed that one. And I think it's the same person that got this. So they got the lapis, they got this, and imagine that with the carnelian. Look how pretty that is together.
Oh, you all want lapis? I'm gonna do you lapis.
Oh. And then we also have the lapis chips, I think, from yesterday. We've sold one of the WS10s so far. They're $20 each. They're hand carved in Afghanistan. And let me get you the size on those.
I never forget those beads.
Because I just remembered these lapis, and I was like, those are so beautifully blue.
We almost got swept away for them beads.
Which beads? These beads?
Those ones and those little tiny carved bronzite beads.
15.8 by approximately 10.2. Cornetto.
What does that mean?
I don't know that word yet.
Cornetto?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. It's in section 1.
Oh, that's a croissant. A croissant.
Did you see that dude?
Croissant.
He's elementary school teacher, and he went, I guess, to the airport or something, and he's also a comedian. And he went up to the Starbucks or something in there in the cafe, and the person there was like, "Would you like a croissant?"
There's
and they, like, really put the back into it.
There's a and it might have been a collaboration, because there is a French team of guys that's what they do. They pretty much go around saying croissant like that to make people pronounce it the right way. This, somebody I think was asking for a perfume bottle.
Lapis.
So this is a lapis perfume bottle.
Real stones.
Real stones, y'all. Real stones. And it's $18. And this is to put the perfume in. Cornetto is a cone, says Marianne. Croissant. A croissant.
That means horn.
Yeah, that's how they say croissant.
Like cornucopia.
This is just sold. Thank you so much.
You know what? Somebody else got confused when they were talking about Moses. They talked about the corona around his head, not coronavirus, but corona with a halo. And they thought it meant corn, like corn, like corn.
Corn.
And so when they did the sculpture of him, they gave him horns.
Oh, that makes sense.
So people were confused why Moses had horns. It's because they got the translation wrong. Instead of the corona,
imagine that.
They got the horns.
The Bible translated wrong?
Well,
imagine
there's
that.
a lot of them.
That was number 11, and it has sold. Thank you so much.
Well, I got something for you.
Ooh, was that handmade? Asked Michelle.
Somebody did.
Somebody did. I didn't do it.
Not me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I would go for a croissant.
I could go for a croissant. I'm hungry today.
Put some of the veggie cream cheese in it.
And then some used to like the veggie cream cheese and everything bagel with veggie cream cheese.
You know that everything's not my favorite.
I know you don't like it for some reason.
Because it's just a little. It's got too much in it.
And you usually like too much.
I like. Okay,
so you can see this was originally 7.
Yes. Onion, yes. What's the other one that's in it?
These are copper, right?
Sesame seed, yes.
Copper beads.
Copper
beads. Look at these.
Old-timey price, you see it.
Yeah, that was the old-timey, and he even reduced it even more for you.
I'm right. I want to go back to. I'm gonna learn the Limoges.
Limoges. This is a little bit over 8-inch strand.
I'm a little bit concerned.
Copper beads.
Though. Okay, I'm taking an enameling class.
6.3 millimeters.
The materials is bring your apron.
By 8.7.
Normally, when I take an enameling class, the list is about as
long
as my arm and cost about $1,000.
That's not the right size. These are 10 millimeters.
And I get a little bit concerned.
Yeah, that's really short.
Huh?
That's a really short list.
Closed-toe shoes, an apron, and a water bottle.
Normally, it's a lot of stuff.
So like, here, you get this thing.
I'm like, is this did somebody cut off the rest of the list?
No.
Did somebody hit that return key and copy all and return and got rid of it all?
I'm concerned. How much was the Esford
box clasp? That one was 32, went down to 25.
All right. So, what number are we on?
We are on 13. You do 13.
Mine 13.
Yeah. Michelle says, I love everything bagel with regular cream cheese. Yeah, there used to be a veggie cream cheese in New York. I forget where I got that. There was a veggie cream cheese. And I think back then, I did just get plain bagels most of the time because the veggie cream cheese had so much in it. It was so good. And the bagels were like this big.
They were real bagels.
Yeah. They weren't the little tiny bagels.
Also, they weren't hard like a rock.
No.
You know, okay. So
look at
you may look at my hand.
That's
and
peridot.
See a scar on my finger and think that that's from metalsmithing or blacksmithing.
Incorrect. Sterling silver box clasp with peridot was 25. Took it down to 23. Can't do any better than that on that.
This scar on my finger is from a child time. Sheila, my sister, she worked at a bagel shop for like 2 weeks, and they would give her the old bagels as like her bonus. And
10 millimeters by 19.5.
A strawberry bagel, and it was so rock hard. The blade glanced off the bagel and into my finger, down to where I could see the bone.
Oh my goodness!
And this happened as a child, and it was deep, y'all. I probably should have got stitches, but they just put some Neosporin on it and a Band-Aid.
Oh my goodness.
Go to the hospital.
No. WS13 peridot box class. One left. Those are vintage. Those were vintage when we started our store, I think.
I can tell you who I got from. My friend just made that.
Yeah. Mary Jane says, OMG. Amy says, that's sus. Then expect you to pay for materials kit unplanned.
Oh, there is a material fee, but it's oddly low. It's like $60. Sometimes I got scared. One time I went, and she said that the kit fee was $600. I said, "Dude, what? That's more than the class."
Uh-huh.
And that teacher was really good. She worked with it, and she budgeted it down so it was way less. It was like 100 and something.
Wow.
But
That
originally,
scares you. You're
because
on 14.
they do some of the schools. What they do is they don't keep materials for you to use all the time. So they order in just for that class.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that means is then that gets divided by all the students. But what that also means is that the leftover supplies also get divided amongst the students.
Get to take it home.
So you get to keep it. It doesn't just live at the studio.
WS14 are these.
You're gonna get it.
This is chrysoprase.
Correct.
Chrysoprase.
Oh, I love these. Look how
gemmy. Chrysoprase drops.
That's not too much brown. A little bit.
No, and some of these are really high quality, like these little.
Look at it, it's glowing at
you. Mm-hmm. They glow.
Stare.
They literally glow.
Look at that one.
Look at this one. It looks like an opal.
Look at that little friend.
Chrysoprase drops. And this is a strand coming in at 14 inches. And these drops are 8.7 by 6.2 approximately. That's a really exceptionally good deal for that, $24. That's some gem quality on a lot of those. WS14, $24. Gem quality on a lot, like that one right there. Ooh, that one right there. Oh my goodness, that one. Oh my goodness. Okay, WS14. He's ready to move on.
If Chad didn't sell it, I don't know what.
He's like He's like, no amount of talking about it is going to sell it more.
Because it's already beautiful.
I know.
That's like when they try to talk up those beautiful supermodel people. I say, you don't have to say anything. This already you can see. Unless you can't see.
Vintage glass. Is it Czech or German? Czech to be safe.
Old Czech, but there's that one window of time.
Mm-hmm. These are really cool. It's a cool shape. Shape you don't see. Like, where do you see that shape?
In the donut form.
Cruller in a donut form.
At Gatlinburg, the donut fryer.
The donut fryer, that's where you see it.
That business melted in my mouth. The white flour.
He teased me. He didn't bring me home any.
Do you want that old?
I don't know. Maybe I do. You keep talking about how good it was.
No, it wouldn't last.
It wouldn't. He says, sorry, it didn't last.
I can tell you now, it wouldn't last. For one.
This is about an 8-inch strand. Could I be in an
enclosed space with donuts and not eat it? No. For however long I was in the car for.
WS14,
for 12 hours.
The chrysoprase sold.
That is
Thank
incorrect.
You. Anna says, they know I love crullers and I'm hungry.
Who said that?
Anna.
Well, the ones at Donut Fryer, that was like the best thing. You know what? She was right. Generally speaking, when I go somewhere, I like to ask what the best thing is.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they lie. Because I used to be told to lie also.
Oh, yeah.
I was told, say the favorite thing is the thing that they had the most of. And
trying to sell it.
And so...
Oh, my favorite's this thing that there's just happens to be a lot of it left.
Mm-hmm. I did go at 5 o'clock in the morning, so there was a lot.
There was a lot of everything. Yeah, that's.
Here you go. You want some German? Oh, there's all kinds of metal and stuff all over my phone.
I just had to clear your lens. I was like, why is it so foggy up in here?
So it's for ambient.
Ambiance. WS15 just sold. Thank you so much. Look at this. Ooh.
That's the German one.
Vintage German glass.
That's from Ava.
$12 down from 14. Normally we do not discount.
Really, that's more.
Yeah.
A bigger string, but that's
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 beads. 11 beads. That'd be more than $12. That'd be like an $18 or $20 strand.
What is that?
Maybe
number?
24. That was 16. So these are very pretty, and they're like almost chatoyant. Like, look at that.
Anyway, so the donut fire was delicious. But I got the cake donut, and that was often okay. And you know, the worst part
by
is
10.5.
It was Curtis's birthday, so I went and I got him a donut for his birthday, and I got the one that
it made it back to him.
But it wasn't that far. And they gave him. I said, "What do you think did for a birthday?" And it was a dude. And the dude, he picked the cake donut with rainbow sprinkles. And it looked festive.
Yeah, that would be a festive birthday thing.
However, I later in the week had one. And let me tell you, it was not.
Did you have to apologize to Curtis?
No, because you don't tell somebody that they got an inferior product. So I ended up quietly thinking about it. I was like, boy, he got ripped off.
WS17. So these are intricate.
There's a locket.
This is a locket, and you unscrew this, and it's like a screw. Like you can see, that's like a screw.
That's machined, y'all.
That is machine made. And if I can get it unscrewed enough, it's very secure.
It's a shallow locket, though. You may have to pull it all the way out. Sometimes you don't have
there it goes. I was just screwing out this other top part. There we go. So it's this piece that moves up and down. You can see how they actually split the screw to do that. So it's super secure.
So the screw is sawed in half.
Yeah. You can see
Look at that. Isn't that wild?
And then this screws down over. If I can get it down. I can't do it through the camera. Sorry, everybody. There we go. It's hard to do things through the camera.
You want to learn sculpting through the camera? Sometimes I looked at the camera and I'm way off the camera. And I was like, I'm glad they enjoy my stories because this is not for detail. And
Anna said that's ingenious. Yeah, these are really nicely made. We used to have a bunch of these. This is the only one I've seen around in a long time. $36 down to $32. They are a little expensive, but they're super well made. And then you can put things in there. So you can put photos in there, and they kind of blow up. They magnify it. Let me see if I have anything to put in there and show you.
What number is that?
That was number 17. There, look. See? It magnifies it. So when you put it in there and close it up, it can be pretty small, and it makes it much bigger, able to be seen. Andrew did one of these of his grandmother. WS17. Marion says, I'm thinking bedtime, and I try not to eat 2 hours before bed. Oh, my. Michelle says it's my dinner time. Ours, too. 17 just sold. Thank you so much. 17 just sold again. Sorry, we've only got the one.
So I used to have that. I hang on the register.
I think, is it still on the register?
I don't know.
I don't know where it is now. I just feel like I saw it, though.
They did a little collage and said love on the back.
WS18.
So this is an agatized ancient shell, and I drilled it.
Andrew drilled that for you all.
One time we had Nancy, not Nancy from Florida, but a different Nancy. She came over, and she went to what's that place? Herkimer. And they got these quartz crystals, and they picked them up. I said, "Oh, I'll just drill them for you." and it was taking so long. And I was falling asleep while I was drilling it because it was taking so long.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, I'll do it for you," and then he regretted that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 hours later. Andrew emerges from. I'm like entertaining them. I'm like, I don't know, ran out of things to talk about. Like Andrew should be back soon. And it's like another hour later. So this is a shell that has gone from a shell to an agate.
The minerals got replaced.
Yeah, completely replaced. That takes a long time, y'all. So this is very old. $16 only. Super pretty. You don't see those around very often. That was 18. WS 18. Oh, let me give you the size on that too before I put it away.
And I think it's from Morocco.
This is 1.5 inches. I think they're from Morocco too. I think by 3/4. I think I remember that.
Is it gastropod?
Some kind of gastropod.
I don't know. But there used to be a shallow sea.
Charlie says, tonight has a lot of tempting things. Tried to pick some good things for y'all tonight.
I'm going to say that that's not true, though.
What?
That there's a shallow sea. Because in the old times, in the Pangea times, the Atlas Mountains in Morocco were part of the Appalachian Mountains, and then the mountains...
Before they split.
And the mountains in Great Britain. Marianne, did you go to bed? What's the mountains called?
This is Shibuichi, right? Shibuichi. And this is the connector, $8. Really good price for Shibuichi from Saki Silver originally. Shibuichi is copper and silver alloyed together.
There's no more. No more Saki Silver.
No more?
I don't think so.
WS 19, $8. You gotta watch because when you pull it over to the side of the camera, it warps things because it's a fisheye lens.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's rippled. No, it's not. It looks fine. It's fine. That was WS 19. Let me give you a size on that for those of you who like the sizes. About 18.8 by 14.
You want to know the secret of that? So, picture.
And that just sold. Thank you so much.
2008.
2008. Picture it.
Their housing crisis. Boom, boom. Prices of silver skyrocket to over $50 a troy ounce. And people who work with silver are dismayed because it was $15. So everybody had to scramble. And then Bob Burkett, he came up. He's been doing Shibuichi for a while.
And Bob Burkett, if you like, I know that name. If you just follow along with us, we had one of his pieces yesterday that sold.
He's a master metalsmith. Mm-hmm. And he kind of reinvigorated this Japanese alloy technique, ancient Japanese. They used to use it for the sword hilts, the suba.
In the samurai.
Samurai swords, because it's really hard and it holds detail. And you're not going to get your finger sliced off if somebody knocked into it with them fancy blades.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so all these metalsmiths started clamoring on because you don't need as much silver. You only need a fraction of the silver.
Yeah, for Shibuichi.
And so, but Shibuichi has been around. There's a dude that was named Philip Baldwin. And
this is a 14-inch strand of carnelian.
He is also a blacksmith. $10. He just passed away. And
approximately 5.5 millimeter little coins.
Anyways, he did stuff with the Shibuichi, and he had this company called Shining Waves Metal. And he also invented a patina that make a brown. It's called Baldwin's patina.
And Shibuichi in Japanese means 4 to 1.
But the thing is not everybody uses that.
No. Ichi ni sen shi. Shi is the number 4. Ichi is 1. Shibuichi.
Ren, when they were on their way here, they made a Shibuichi billet.
Oh yeah, I know. That's
And guess who
nice.
else was doing Shibuichi?
Who?
Curtis.
Curtis.
My next door bench friend.
Amy says big sad about Saki Silver.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I like them a lot. And they had wonderful things.
Well, so you can do all this stuff now.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Times change. People move on.
You know, they had this great big warehouse, and she had this thing.
This is dyed bone.
Batik dye.
Batik dyed.
They call it
Oh, we sold 18. Thank you so much.
Busy, Fresh, and Juicy or something like that. And she had a boutique. Did you know that?
I don't know if I knew that.
She had a boutique, and she used to have
You
these
probably
loaves
told me at one point.
of soap, and you cut off a bar. And then,
this is a 24-inch strand. And these are 8 millimeters. That's not right. Yeah. Yeah, it is. 8 millimeters by about 26.
what number is that?
21. Dyed bone. One strand available for only $16. Good deal. Good deal. Marion says, no, still here, but too many possibilities for mountains in the UK to be the same as the Appalachians and Atlas for this tired mind to think of.
I can't remember.
She says there was a mega Lake Chad in north central Africa, kind of like Lake Agassiz in North America. Probably butchering that pronunciation.
Oh, so maybe then. Mm-hmm.
All right, this is WS22.
Somebody did something to get smoked with the Sahara.
Look at this flower.
They did something bad, and they got burnt by the sun, and the world got cleaved.
Oh.
Splitting up.
So this is silver?
Yeah, Hill Tribe Silver.
Hill Tribe Silver. That's the word I was looking for. Huh?
The Karen Tribe.
The Karen Tribe. Hill Tribe Silver.
So supposedly they trade chilies and wild honey for tools in the towns.
23.5 by 23 millimeters. You got the bell on the back. Look how beautifully that's made. Handmade.
What number is that?
That was 22. And it's only $22. Hill Tribe Silver.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, making them flowers out of metal is not easy. Oh my gosh, there's a girl.
Now, would you only charge $22 if you made that?
There's somebody in the class, and they made these leaves, and they look real.
In what class?
Or not class, in the residency I'm in.
Oh.
Her name Katie.
Making the real leaves.
Her name on Instagram is Lumpy Llama.
Lumpy Llama, that's cute.
She's my friend. She actually talks to me.
She's your new friend?
None of the other people except for Ellen talk to me.
Oh.
That's because they're busy. You know, with hot stuff.
Yeah, lots of hot stuff.
She's busy too, but she's been there for a long time, so she's like, I can talk to this person who's going to be here for a few days.
Drooks.
Yeah, she's nice. I like her.
Check glass. These are large.
You know what? It's destined that we're supposed to be friends.
10 millimeter Drooks.
Her aunt lives in Ligonier, and she used to come to Ligonier. And her aunt is somebody who I know.
Say, how come you didn't come into our store?
She probably did.
She probably did.
I can't imagine Annie wouldn't take her in.
I know, right? Look at how beautiful these are. They've got kind of a bluey, kind of mercury old glass finish on the outside. Just barely there.
What number is that?
This was 23. And these this is approximately an 8-inch strand, only $8. Marion says Mega Lake Chad would have covered part of what is now the Sahara. It was approximately 400,000 square kilometers.
Makes sense, man. It's like Florida used to have a shallow sea. But they there also was this tribe, and they had this carved cat.
Look at how that's a mega strand for $14.
Something Windfall something.
16-inch strand.
Windfall Farms. I should pay attention when my dad was talking about that. He was like so impressed that there's these ancient people in Florida. They got wiped out. The only thing that's left is this carved wood cat in the tomb in their bodies.
Carved wood cats.
I'm glad to know that I'm a part of a long tradition of cat maker.
There's about 8.8 millimeters on these cubes by approximately 8. And these are Czech glass, large strand of vintage Czech glass. 16-inch strand, $14. Only 24. I think I skipped a number yesterday. I didn't even realize it until I was doing my spreadsheeting. Nobody noticed. Nobody even noticed.
Sometimes I can't remember numbers anymore. So, oh well.
Oh well. It happens.
Get ready.
What you got there?
Something juicy.
Juicy? I didn't bring my drink up here. I should have. I'm so thirsty.
You're almost done.
Almost done. Just halfway through.
Hey, where is the scissors?
All right. Juicy, juicy.
Aren't those pretty?
Lamp work glass.
Somebody asked one for lamp work the other day.
Who's this by? Handcrafted. Doesn't say. Handcrafted, but there's some lamp work. We've been throwing a little bit of lamp work here and there in almost a lot of our shows.
That looks like uniform.
Anna says, was it number 3? I was looking for it. What? Looking for what, Anna?
Number.
What number?
You skipped.
Oh. No, I skipped 19, I think it was. Marianne says, now I will say good night. Good night, Marianne.
Well, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for your knowledge.
I'm going to look up Lake Chad. Did you say Chad like that dude Chad?
Yep, Mega Lake Chad.
Mega Lake. So is it like an ocean then?
400,000 square kilometers.
How big is the Great Lakes? Are they like baby size compared?
I would think so. This is about 11 points, so about 12 millimeter lamp work glass.
I grew up in Florida, y'all, and so
4, 8,
we
10
didn't go to the beach often, but we went sometimes. And so I spent a fair amount of time at the beach. You know what one of the most trippy things is when you go to the Great Lakes, it feels like it should be the beach, right?
It's like an ocean.
Beach, but there's no salt.
Nope.
And so there's like waves and stuff and sand. But it's like if you grew up smelling salt and like sea air, and then you go and you have that, it's similar but just different enough that it does something in your brain.
And this is, I was going back through the video to see what I missed. Good. Everybody should do that. There were some beautiful pink sapphires yesterday.
Oh, I know the string you're talking about.
I think they were $120, but that was a very good price.
Those are pretty. Those would go really well with that chrysoprase.
Yeah, it would.
Because they're similar shape, isn't it?
Yeah, they were drops. The Briolette, little tiny drops.
What is it, 26?
You're on 26 right now. Yep. Anna says they are gorgeous. Yeah, they were nice. Those pink sapphires last night, super duper nice. I know why people didn't buy them because they're spendy, but they are worth more than that money actually, much more. But hey.
All right,
got from you there?
$1 off per bead.
$1 off per bead. That was a good deal.
Blue heron.
Huh?
Blue heron.
Blue heron beads. So these are, they were $25 for the lot.
They were $5 a bead.
And now they are $20.
I had this idea that I was gonna make rings with them, or I was gonna take them and rivet them onto just a ring shank. And so for a while, I got the fever to buy their discs.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever I saw a disc, I buy it.
Buy it. So you get 5 of them. Let me just measure one of them here for you. This one is 15.2 millimeters, and it is 4.2 millimeters. Oh, Laura is here with us.
Which one?
Laura Belkin.
Oh, it's been a minute.
I know. Laura says, I missed the Saki Silver info. What's up?
They're not in business anymore.
They're not in business anymore. They closed a while ago. I think their website's still there. I think I looked, but from what I understood, they closed.
Did you know she used to be a dancer?
Yes, I did know that. That one I knew. She was ballet. She was a ballet dancer.
What was that number?
26.
27.
Those would be cute with a bee charm on the top. Yeah, they would.
Mm-hmm.
Those little discs, little bee, little bronze bee.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. So, Laura says, "Oh no, that's sad." Yes,
everything's changing.
The world is changing.
But you know what? You know her daughter. She had a baby.
Really?
I remember when she was born. Kira.
We're at that age now. You remember when the babies are having the babies now.
The grandma now.
Yeah. Look at these pearls.
That's wild.
Look at these tiny.
Now, don't get confused. They're small, but they're lovely.
Look at these little tiny gunmetal gray pearls.
I wouldn't call them gunmetal. I would say like
steely gray.
What is like a dove?
Dove gray. Okay, we'll call them dove gray.
Or is dove gray more pink?
Yeah, that's true too.
So storm cloud gray.
Storm cloud. I don't know that that's a storm cloud either.
Okay. Gentle rain cloud.
Gentle rain cloud.
Misty,
with the silver lining.
Yeah, silver lining.
But $14.
They have luster to it.
They do. Look.
Do they show up on camera? The luster.
It's trying.
Well, they're pretty in person.
They are pretty in person, and these are approximately 3 millimeter pearls. Laura says, "Yes, babies having babies, right? The babies are having babies these days." Book 27 has sold. Thank you so much.
Book 27?
Yep.
You know, one of the things I remember the most about when we were at Beat 'em Button, and this lady had shoplifted, and so Kira saw it, and she ran behind that lady. She's like, "Thief, thief! She's stealing beads!" And that woman tried to shuffle away.
I bet.
And she was dropping beads, and Kira's over there yelling and chasing after her.
Good for her.
I remember that. It's so cute. Because she was probably like 10.
Oh.
Maybe 11 or 12.
And this is Gray Day Silvery Cloud Pearls. I think I have those from you. Maybe. I don't know if we had more than one strand of them.
Small like that?
Oh. What do you got? What do you got for me for 28? Always crossing prices out.
Well,
he's marking them down.
Correct.
Marking them down, sell them off. Mark them down, sell them off.
So
Candace is called out by a child. That's awesome. What is this strand? Is it? I wasn't 100% sure on this one. That's one of the ones I was like, I'm pulling this so Andrew can tell everybody what it is. Dumortierite. It is so pretty. It's that lovely kind of gray blue. $15 only, down from $18 for the strand. Dumortierite. These are approximately 9.5 millimeter rounds, and this strand is a 16-inch strand. Demorterite. Look how pretty that is. And that one is just sold.
Thank you.
That's a good deal for the demorterite. Oh, Laura says Saki's website is still active, so I'm not sure they are closed. I'll ask on Facebook.
Well, maybe ask private.
Yeah, because
no, well,
she sent out a email talking about that they were closing, but I did see the website was up the other day, so I don't know if they have a selection of things or if it's just they're not manning the website anymore.
What is
that? Was 28.
Is that my daughter Idabelle?
I think it is.
I love her.
She's trying to get in.
So sweet.
She's a sweetie pie.
I would give him a deal.
Ooh, what are you doing now? He's really. Oh my! You hear that, little girl?
She goes, ooh wee.
Ooh wee. Super cute.
She talks.
She does talk. All right, everybody. This is WS 29. We're $12. Now $10.
She's a sweetheart.
Little agate hearts. Are these agate or are they glass? These are glass, aren't they?
No.
They're agate. A little stone. Agate. Red agate. And they're all different sizes. So, well, not all different. They're kind of different. There they are. WS 29. Faceted. Beautiful. Holes drilled top to bottom. Little hearts. Got a little pair of earrings there. Make a little bracelet out of these ones. And so they're approximately, the small ones here are 16.3. And these ones are 20. It's about 20. So 16 by 20. Or 16 and 20. Those have sold. Thank you so much.
Well, we make choices right about.
Oh. Mother says maybe they are selling remaining inventory or decided to come back. I've had a few friends who announced to everyone they were retiring and then came back. Your mom, he says. She was retiring for like 10 years. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Hello. How are you, baby? Oh. What you got all over you? Carpet fuzz? Ooh, these are nice. What's this say? Old
Amazonite.
Amazonite.
Those are hand
old
done.
Amazonite. They were $15. Andrew marked them down to 14. Yeah, we can't go. I was like, can't go much lower than that.
No, I paid that.
That's right. Look at
who
those.
I got that from too.
I do know who you got this from.
Got that Sally Llama.
Sally Llama. I know that tag. All her stuff was hand tagged like that.
She said that she bought that in bulk when she first started. And so
she had to keep using those tags.
And she said if I ever run out, I'll never be able to find them. And you know who else got those tags? Gil Crosmer Moore. So I always know who made what.
Who made
those
what?
Tags. Those little gold tags.
Laura says, Mom is still trying to get me to do stuff. Mary Jane says, blessed night, everyone. Hope you can get some sleep, Andrew. Good night, Mary Jane. Somebody else.
What happened to your warehouse of these, Laura?
So these are about 8.2 wide, and then they vary in length. This one's about 23. This one's about 21 or 20 and a half, and that's about 22 and a half. This is a very beautiful strand. Old Amazonite.
Laura's mom is the one who showed me how to pick out pearls.
Amy says, hard to say. It doesn't seem like she had an inventory replenishment long before she announced she was closing. Yeah, I thought it was a sell down sale that they were having. Who knows?
I haven't seen them in years. So.
Yeah, we haven't been. And I haven't seen news of her going to like bead shows and stuff. Is that the last one?
I think so.
That's it for tonight?
Yeah, if you
30?
could go, but I'm pretty well out.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's WS30. That's the last one of tonight.
And I keep running my mouth. So.
You do. But that's good because it's better. They're probably more entertained than when I do because I'm just like, and this is the next lot. And this is the next lot.
The story
This
time
is the next
with
lot.
Andrew.
I know. They don't get story time with William. Maybe more efficient, but less fun.
We're going to go harken the old times.
Hello, everybody. Oh, yeah. My shirt is covered in clay. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining in. If you have any questions, please send them via email. If you'd like to claim anything, please send them via email. If you're just catching us now, do a replay. We keep these lots open for about a week or so, and you can still claim that way. After that, then you got to send us a screenshot if you see something that you like. But you can always look at any of our videos and ask us if we still have it, because we might be able to dig it up for you if we still do. Laura says, after 10, you should be done for tonight. Good night. Yeah, usually.
Is it after 10?
It's 10:17.
How did that happen?
I know.
Bro.
So we're going to go cook some dinner. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
I won't.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.